Good morning, everyone. And today is April 30th, the last day of April. I'm gonna be real brief today. It may take me, hopefully it won't take me no more than 5 minutes. But anyway, I want to talk about a few things. And in this case, I'm gonna be talking about the law, that applies to everybody, in other words. And first of all, I want to read a scripture real quick coming from Hebrews chapter 13, verse 17. And by the way, this verse really deals with like the person who's over you, like if you go to church, things like that, the shepherd slash pastor, bishop, apostle, whatever the title that person may go by, evangelist, so on. But like here, for example, it says Hebrews chapter 13, verse 17, it says, obey them to have the rule over you and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls as they that must give an account, that they may do it with joy and not with grief, for that is unprofitable for you. So real quick, I just want to cut to the chase and get to the point. This is the thing, I may have mentioned this before, but I want to talk about it again. The law was made for every human being in the world. I don't care, or it doesn't matter who it is. It's made for all of us. And I'm saying this because I'm not taking no sides, but I'm a person that likes to keep it real, and I don't sugarcoat nothing. But the bottom line fact is, you're going to have good people in every situation in life, just like you're going to have bad people. Like you have some good pastors, you have bad pastors. Meaning some who were called by God, some who call themselves and do what they want to do, but God didn't call them. You have some good judges, some bad judges. You have some good police, bad police, slash good sheriffs, slash state troopers, some bad sheriffs, slash state troopers, good doctors, bad doctors. It keeps going. But all I'm trying to say is this. First off, I want to mention that when it comes to the words expressway slash highways, I looked those up. Those mean the same thing. They're different terms, but they mean the same thing. However, when it comes to freeway, I looked that up, and if I'm not mistaken, a freeway is I'm trying to remember. A freeway is basically like where you're on the interstate, and it's, how do you say that? It's like, if I'm not mistaken, it's a part of your area dealing with your state that takes you, like here in Memphis, we have a interstate called Interstate 240. So really, in other words, that's like a freeway, if I'm not mistaken, because it takes you in a circle, but it stays here in the city of Memphis, is what I'm saying. Then you have the word interstate that I just mentioned. The word interstate, though, is what it says, interstate. So the bottom line fact is that we have I-40 here in Memphis, or in the state of Tennessee in general. But the interstate, the weird thing is, it really shouldn't be called an interstate. I said the wrong definition. Interstate has to deal with being in your local area, your city, like I-240, the circle here in Memphis. But I-40 really should be a highway, and the reason I know that is because you have different highways here in Memphis. You have I'm gonna say Highway 70, which is Summer Avenue. You have Highway 72, which is Popular Avenue. You have near me Highway 14, which is Austin P Highway. You have 64, which is Stage Road, which turns into Highway 64. 78 is Lamar Avenue. It's other ones to go. But what I'm saying is that, with that being the case, the bottom line fact, the point here is that really I-40 shouldn't be called an interstate, because it's not just in the state of Tennessee or just in the area of Memphis here. It goes from different parts of Tennessee, and I think it goes through Kentucky and whatever other states going towards the south or towards the east. But I know for a fact that going towards Arkansas, you have to use I-40, and it goes all the way to the west coast through California and other states. But what I'm trying to say is that I just wanted to mention those. But here, like I mentioned several times, you have I-240 here in Memphis that goes around these different exits like Getwell, Lamar Avenue, Popular, downtown like Madison Avenue, Union Avenue, near me like Covington Pike, Austin P, Summer Avenue, Sam Cooper, and so on. But the fact is this, what I don't get about the city of Memphis is, and it may be like this in other parts of the world, but I'm referring to my area, Memphis here. It's like, how can the speed limit on an interstate and I meant to say this too, real quick, highways include stop signs and lights. An interstate doesn't, because why would you have lights? The only things you may have on an interstate / expressway or freeway, whatever you want to say, is toll booths. In certain states or certain areas of different cities or states, you have where people have to pay tolls and throw the quarters unless you have the little thing on the window that has to deal with the express pay, where it automatically pays for you. But my point is this, it doesn't make sense at all that here in Memphis, I-240, the circle of Memphis, the speed limit is 55. Like, don't get me wrong, I get that, that's the law, it is what it is. But if I'm sitting here, for example, on a road near me where you have a regular road taking a streetway with lights and gas stations and food places and other places around, in houses where you got to watch out for people walking and different things, I get that. The speed limit in here in Memphis is 40. Then when you go to Bartlett, outside my area, it's 45. I mean, I meant to say it opposite. It's 45 here in Memphis. Then when you leave Memphis and go to Bartlett, it goes down from 45 to 40. I get that. But what I'm trying to say is, if you add 10 miles to the 45, it becomes 55 on 240. Not too many people, I'm talking about 70, 80, 90% of people or so are going to be doing at least 65, 70. And I feel like that's what the speed limit should be. And I think I heard people tell me before that back in the day, it used to be that much on the interstate here in Memphis, but they changed it for some reason. 55 is not fast at all. That's going slow, because if I'm doing 55, let's say I'm getting on the interstate, 55 is going to be slow, especially if I'm getting on merging, and it's going to be other vehicles that have to get on, that are already on, and I got to sit there and either slow down so I can easily get on safely, or I need to speed up and put the pedal to the metal so I can be able to get in front of that person or those people to force my way in. So if I go on the interstate and I decide to do 55, the speed limit, do people not realize how slow that's going to be going, knowing that, like I said, not too many people, probably 10-20%, if that, are going to be doing 55. Other people are going to at least be doing 60, 65, 70, and whatever else, hopefully not more than 80. And that's the thing about it. Most interstates / freeways or expressways are going to be 70, 75 and up. Like if you take 40 here that's in Memphis and go towards Nashville, Chattanooga, Knoxville, or you go towards Arkansas or Texas, the speed limit is going to be around at least 70, 75, 80. And whatever the speed limit is for cars, it's going to be 5 less for trucks. But what I'm trying to say is, what good is it? What sense does it make for them to make the speed limit 55 on a circle that has nothing to do with lights or stop signs? The only thing you have to worry about is if it's traffic, then that's when you're going to have to slow down and come to a stop because it slowed down due to an accident or rush hour traffic in the morning or in the evening. So that doesn't make any sense. But let me say this too. Let me add to that. So the thing is this. I was going with the flow of traffic 2 days ago on Friday. And this is the thing. I don't want nobody to get mad because I'm keeping it real. But the disadvantage when it comes to state troopers, a police officer, or sheriff is that when it comes, I already noticed, and a lot of other people probably already noticed too, but when it comes to the end of the month This is not my opinion, this is the truth. They have a certain quota that they have to meet or reach. Certain write-ups, so many write-ups a month. And the fact is that I was going with the flow of traffic. You can get a ticket too for not just going too fast, but going too slow. So why would I sit there and go slow and everybody else is passing me by? I'm talking about literally everybody. I'm not speeding, like driving crazy. I'm going with the flow of traffic. So the point is, that's what I don't like about the law and things like that, because it's like, it's so unfair a lot of times where a person going with the flow of traffic, you get pulled over while other people are doing the same speed limit you were doing, because only, of course, so many people can get pulled over at once. But that's what I don't like. And what I don't like about not every police officer, state trooper, or sheriff, but a lot of them that feel like because they're the law, they can do what they want to do. No, the law is made for everybody in the world. I don't care who you are, pastor, judge, the law, you're supposed to obey the law too. Everybody. No human being is more higher or better. Your position is, but who you are in the eyesight of God, you're not higher or better than nobody else. We all are human beings. You're not no idol, no God I bow down and worship to, or nobody else, but I still respect and honor you. My whole point is simple though. That's the problem with society. It's like, how can you all be an example for us? Not all, but I'm talking about some of them. If you're sitting here running lights and stop signs and this and that, but you tell us not to do something, or you pull us over for doing something that some of you all do, that doesn't make sense. I've used this example plenty of times before. That's like me, and let me say this too. I was thinking about years ago being a police officer, but I said, that's not the calling God has for me, because with me easily getting pissed off and mad and not taking no nonsense or mess or whatever, I sadly would have sat there and probably used my gun and took somebody's life, and I don't want to sit there and end up behind bars for however many years killing somebody. That's not me. I'm not that type of person. I'm a nice, kind, respectful person. So I would rather sit there like now and do me and let God bless me with some other talent and gift he has for me, but not no sheriff, state trooper, or police. That's not my calling. That's not for me. But once again, all I'm trying to say is that I don't get that about Memphis. Why the speed limit is 55 miles per hour on a ongoing interstate, the circle 240. Why speed limit 55? That's not that fast at all. 70 and 80, like, and that's the thing too. If you're gonna go that slow, you're supposed to be in the right lane. The left lane is not just a fast lane unless it's a, what do they call that, a HOV lane. I forgot what it stands for, high occupancy. Like if you at least have to have 2 people or more to be in that lane. But the fact is, it doesn't make sense how, and let me say this, I forgot to say this too. The funny but messed up and weird thing about, look, you have different officers out there, meaning some will pull you over and give you a ticket for doing, let's say 1 or 2 or up to 5 miles over the speed limit. Other ones will just give you a warning and be nice and respectful. Other ones will let you do, let's say 80 and going with the flow of traffic or whatever on the interstate I'm talking about now, that is I-240, that people would be doing 70, 80 on, and the speed limit is 55. So it's like that's why the law, in my opinion, is messed up, because all the police should have the same mindset, meaning they should have the law, hey, once you see somebody, or if and when you see somebody doing like 70 plus in a 55 zone, you need to pull that person over. It's not right for some people to get pulled over while others don't get pulled over for doing 70 and above in a 55. That's why the law is so unfair, because if I get pulled over for 65, but some other people on a regular basis be doing 70, 75, 80 in a 55, that's not fair. Because basically, it's like you're saying that person is eligible and you're giving them permission to do what they want to do and to get away with disobeying the law and speeding, while a person like me may get pulled over for just 5 or 10 over the speed limit. Like, wrong is wrong. Sin is sin. It doesn't matter who does it. In the eyesight of God, wrong is wrong. But in the eyesight of man, the problem is some people get away with this and other people get punished for what they did. But like the Bible talks about, so as a man soweth, also shall he reapeth. So the bottom line fact is, that's why life is just up and down. It's like it seems fair one minute, other times it's not fair at all. But that's my whole point. Once again, I'm not pointing no fingers or judging or getting mad at no police or nothing like that. I'm just saying a lot of laws, depending on where you stay in the world, what city, state, and if you're talking about gun laws or the laws about the speed limit and stuff, the world can be messed up in a lot of different ways. But it all has to do with the government system and politics and this and that. But I'm not making this video to tear nobody down, by the way, because I still respect everybody. I don't care who you are. It doesn't matter the skin color. I respect you for who you are. And guess what? Like they say, in order to get respect, you got to give respect. So I'm just sharing my opinion about how, like I said, I-40 here is not necessarily an interstate. They probably called it that because it doesn't have lights or stop signs like a expressway / highway. But I-40 here is a regular, what do you call it? Is a regular, it is a interstate because it doesn't have no lights or stop signs. But technically, since it goes from different states like Highway 78, Lamar Avenue, and other ones here in Memphis, to the streets that go to different states, technically I-40 is a highway because it goes from Tennessee to Arkansas, I think to Texas. It goes to California and other different states. But I'm just saying that though because the law can be funny and tricky at times, and people have to know the law. It pays to know and to study and do your research. But all I'm trying to say is, I don't feel like that's right that the speed limit is low on our interstate, 55 miles per hour. That's too slow in my opinion. And then the last thing, like I said, is that it's not fair that some people get pulled over for going over the speed limit while a police officer may let other people do it because they're going with the flow of traffic. I feel like every time a person does wrong, that person should get in trouble. But hey, it is what it is. That's all I want to talk about. May God bless you and your family, and may he send blessings your way 30, 60, 100 fold. God bless you and be blessed.